And we are live. Hello, everyone watching us from all over the world. Right now, we are streaming live to LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. So, as you can see, the topic of what we're having the conversation around is the impact reporting for Visionary Mentorship Accelerator Program. And today, I have with me Iyanolu are one of the recent graduates of the Missionary Mentorship Accelerator Program. So she's going to she's going to talk about our work, and I'm going to just ask her a few questions. So if basically our work has to do with teenage reformation. So she's just going to talk about our project and the impact that she has been able to bring into our world. And if this work resonates with you and you come across this video and it looks like something that you would like to fund, that you like to partner with her to make the work go into more spaces, touch more lives, impact more lives, by all means, reach out so that this work can go further. Okay? Iyanolua, welcome to this VMAP conversations. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much, Ma. I'm doing good. Good
Good,
day,
good.
Ma.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for taking time out to have this conversation because it's very important. It's one thing um for people to say they are doing something. It's another thing for them to come forward with the actual numbers of what has been done on the field. You understand? It's another thing, to say you're doing something. It's another thing for you to put your name behind your work and be able to show the world this is what I have done. And it's so amazing. And I love the fact that we are towards the end of 2025. And this is like the period where everybody's talking about what they have done and what they have achieved. Is a reflective period for everyone. So I'm just really, really excited about what we're going to be conversing about tonight. So tell us about who is Iyanoluwa Grace and how and what does VMAP mean to you right now that you're like, what would you say VMAP means to you before we dive into the work?
Okay, Ma. Thank you so much once again. I count this a huge privilege. I mean, to be with my amazing coach and mentor. So permit me to say a very big thank you once again, ma'am. I'm so grateful to be here to talk about my impacts and to talk about my journey so far with a VMAP. So my name is Yanulua Grace. I am a teens reformer. I'm a teens identity coach, and I'm a teacher. And VMAP is an answered prayer. Yeah, it's one of my greatest prayer requests for year 2025. And I'm glad the way God answered my prayer. And so far, I can say that VMAP is one of the best things that happened to me in 2025. Um, you might not really understand when I say answer prayer, but then what I meant is, something I've been longing for so long, and it just came to me. And I thank God because I was able to qualify for the scholarship. Because trust me, if I'm to pay for it, like I mean, at this junction, at this phase, especially in 2025, I wouldn't have been able to afford it. But VMAP has been a huge blessing to me, and it has bring about, and is still in the process, yes, of bringing transformation to everything I do as a visionary. It has helped me to gain clarity. Yes, that's one of the best thing, the profound thing that I've been able to get from VMAP, clarity. Because I've been a teen coach, but I don't really have the clarity. I don't know how to go about it. But through VMAP, I've been able to get the framework, I've been able to learn from the best, not just someone who is just teaching. And I'm not just saying this because with Coach Abimbola, no, even behind I do say this. Yes, because this is the transformation that it's obvious for all to see that everyone around me have been testifying about. So VMAP is not just a mentorship program for me, but is an answered prayer. It's something I've been longing for over the years, and I included it in my prayer request this year, and God answered me and granted my desires by granting me the VMAP scholarship. And so far it has been amazing. It has been from one step to another, from one gaining one clarity to another. So through VMAP I've been able to discover that purpose is not just a day something, it's something you journey into. So I've embarked on this journey, I've gained more clarity, and so far I can say it has also granted me speed aside from clarity. Thank you, ma'am.
Amazing, amazing. It's always a joy when you hear this kind of testimonials, um, because there are many programs out there. There are many mentors out there. There are many, so many, 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 many stuff out there. But
Yes, ma'am.
VMAP is that program that I beat my chest and I say, look, if you go through VMAP, VMAP will not, you will not just go through VMAP. VMAP will go through you and you will not come out the same way that you came into the program. And this is a testament, this is a testimony. And being able to do the work, because for everyone on this call, it was hard work, hard labor, hard work. And it wasn't because of self-aggrandizement, not because of ourselves, but because of those whose destinies are tied to ours, those for whom we are created for. And that reminds me of a phrase from my book where you know was the crescendo of everything, and everyone someone began to ask everyone, who benefits because you exist?
Mm,
Who benefits because you exist? And I'm glad that you, Yanolua, you benefit because I exist. Because if
true.
I didn't heed the call to say, okay, you need to put this kind of program together, you need to, okay, at least because how then the truth is that this scholarship was not just out of the blue, it was just by inspiration of God to say, okay, the partners that I had this year who were able to give of their time, of their expertise, of their knowledge to the programs that I did this year, how do I say thank you? How do I really like, and I was like, okay. And then inspiration came like, okay, let them nominate their own proteges or mentees, like people that are close to them, or someone that, but it's not just someone that is close to them. There is still like a long list of criteria that you must meet to be able to fit into this kind of program. And of course, quite a number of them submitted names, and of course, everybody had to go through another rigorous selection. And at the end of the day, it was just 4 people that qualified to make it into the program. And out of the 4, only 3, is now like certified VMAP graduate. So that's just to tell you the rigor, whoever is listening to this, the rigor of going through it. So um they didn't, so the scholarship is, so like when you get a scholarship, somebody is somewhere is has paid for it or is paying for it, you understand? So I mean, so that's just to give the context of which of how the scholarship came about. So if you're watching this and you like to sponsor someone, to into VMAP, my DM is open. You can always reach out to me. My email is always there. You can always reach out. Say, okay, I'd like to sponsor these young people that are very, very active in social impact, volunteering. They are doing great stuff. But the truth is that It's one thing for you to be invested in social impact. It's another thing for you to have structure. It's another thing for you to have global impact. It's another thing for you to not be the person that burns out while pursuing this kind of vision, this kind of dream. It's another thing for you to um be contained, be measured, for you to be systemized, for you to, there are so many words that I can use. And for the kind of future all of us are going into, it is of necessity that you know who you are by original design. Because when you know who you are, then you know why and what you should be doing in our world, or in the world that you have been placed in. Because the truth is that many people are living as if they have a spare life hidden somewhere that they can always go and take whenever they are ready. Sorry to break the news to you, you only live once. And so while you are here, you can as well make it count. All right. Um,
Yes.
so Iyanoluwa, tell us about
Yes.
your impact project. What inspired it? Why did you decide to take it in that way? And how did VMAP impact how you were able to carry it out? Just tell us what was the project about and what impact did it create? And before you go, you take that. So for someone that is watching this, yeah, so it's not just a case of VMAP. This is also the VMAP impact story, because Iyanoluwa is the evidence of the impact that, AVO brand has made this year 2025. Out of the many that we have done, we've done series of free events, to just recalibrate the human mind, to just shift your mind from point A to point B, to just make you see things from a fresh perspective. Because at the end of the day, as long as you're seeing things from an archaic and outdated model of framework, you cannot move forward. We are living in a world that is constantly changing per second. Is it AI that you want to talk about? Is it technological advancement you want to talk about? What is it that you want to talk about in our world that is not moving at a breakneck speed? What is it that you want to talk about that is not moving at a breakneck speed? So that is why, this impact is very important for us to report, for you to see, for everyone out there to see that, look, this is also the impact that we have been able to bring to bear, bring to fruition, bring to reality. She's a living, breathing evidence of impact. So when I'm talking social impact, it's not just by mouth. You understand? It's not, and it's not until many of us have we've boxed impact um to be, for lack of a better example, to be, you have to go to the orphanage to go and give food. We've turned it to, you understand, that is that's one segment, that's one aspect. We've turned it to, that. So when people think about impact, that is, those are like the first set of things that people just automatically think about. So if you're seeing this is living, breathing impact that you can see, you can touch, you can ask questions. She can tell you by herself where she was and where she is now, and of course where she hopes to be in the next 1 year. So this is also the impact reporting for Visionary Mentorship Accelerator program. So she is our impact proof of impact, and she's also going to tell you the ripple effect that our impact has made based on what she has also been able to carry out in her own field of play. Iyadoluwa, you have the floor.
Wow. Thank you so much once again. Like I can't thank you enough, coach. Thank you so much to um my project, my Vima projects, it was about teenagers. Like, okay, so I'd like to take a permission if I can share a brief story of what made
Yeah,
me to
honestly,
okay
because
choose
what
this.
I actually planned was that I would, if you don't mind, if you can share your origin story. then how
Yes.
you now arrived at, just to show the robustness of what you, because we're not just doing things here just because we want to do it. There's intentionality, there is structure, there is process behind everything that you are listening to tonight. So please, yes, that's a good way to start. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So thank you so much, ma'am. I mean, this part of my life is what I just got to discover during the VMAP program. Yes, it might be shocking, but then I'm glad that VMAP helped me to discover my original self. Like I just knew that I have a soft spot for teenagers, but I never knew why I had this soft spot for teenagers. But it was during one of the moodles that I got to discover, like while reflecting on everything, I was like, oh wow, so this is really the reason why I have soft spot. Because trust me, you can do anything. Like speaking to teenagers is something that comes to me easily. Like I don't mind not eating for the whole day. Like I just want to be around teenagers. I just want to share my story with them just to inspire and to motivate them. And sometimes I even have to share my sibling story with some of them. And naturally, I noticed that teenagers gravitate towards me even before and I started paying attention to it. So, what made me to choose my impact project, which was tied to Speak Up theme, was because while I reflected about myself, I discovered that okay, the reason why I have soft spots for teenagers was actually because of what I passed through while growing up.
Mm.
So while growing up, I am someone who loves attention so much, even if I'm dying. Like I just want to be in the school environment, just to make sure that I'm still living. So when I graduated from SS3, I could not even graduate. Actually, I could not finish my the last term just because there was no fund and there were just financial crisis at home. And the last term that I was supposed to use for my speech and prize preparation and all. But because I know that I could not even afford the full payment, so I just have to, since I've already written my O level exam then, so I just decided to back off school. So I didn't complete. I had just one time to go to complete my secondary school. So that period, while my mates were preparing for valedictory service, speech and prize, and the likes, I was looking for a job. So God helped me. I got my first job as a sales rep. I started working hard and saving because I wanted to go to school. I had passion for school. I believe that no matter what happened to me, my education should not suffer for it. So I believe so much in myself. I have the confidence that no matter the number of years that is going to take me, I'm willing to sacrifice that number of years just to save up and to sponsor myself to school.
Mm.
So I had to work for like 2 years, and in between I moved from different jobs. I started with a sales rep in an agrochemical shop. From there I worked as a poultry attendant. From there I worked as a petrol attendant. Like just different work just to make sure that I am able to save enough funds. And when I was able to save enough funds, because I know no one is, not that they're not willing to help you, but I know that
Okay, I think Iyanu is having some network challenge. Wait for her to return. Yana, are you there? Oh, okay. I think we lost Yana for a brief moment and she'll be back with us. So, okay, is she trying to join again? Okay, Yana, are you there?
Can you hear me, ma?
Okay, yes, I've added you back. Okay. I don't you had a network glitch?
Okay, ma. Yes, ma. So sorry about that, ma.
Okay, that's no
So
problem.
I okay, ma. So I got admission, and with the little help, the little savings I was able to gather from working for about 2 years and with support of family members. Yes, that was how I got admission to study economics and education, even though that was not the course I wanted to study, but I just had to embrace it. So during COVID-19, I told my parents when the curfew was lifted a bit, when the interstate curfew was lifted. So I told them that I want to go back to school. My parents are this kind of people that believe that you can't do two things at the same time. So I've been telling them that I have passion for fashion and I would like to learn it. But they say no, finish with your education first. So going to learn fashion. I just told them that I want to go back to school. So I went back to school, started looking for where I'm going to learn my fashion, and I got a place. I love the person, and I by myself. So I solicited with her to please allow me to pay in installments. So she agreed, and that was how I started learning fashion designing. And I didn't limit it to that. I started taking extra lessons, started teaching people bags. I started hawking shoes in the campus. So I was doing three things together with my studies. And
Network. This is what happens when network or is it technology gets in the way. But so far, I hope you're enjoying Iyanoluwa's story. And it's just to give you context so that you know that this what she the project or what she's doing with teenagers is not just out of, oh, I just want to help teenagers. Can see it is grounded, it is rooted in conviction of turning your pain to purpose, is rooted in understanding that you didn't just pass through something just because you're just supposed to pass through it. Sometimes that lesson is for other people. Sometimes you overcoming it is for you to teach other people how to do it as well. And she has, taken it upon herself to be able to do that, to be able to begin something to reform teenagers, because she was once a teenager that needed help. She was once a teenager that needed support. She was once a teenager that was obviously an endangered species, if for lack of, a better explanation, because anything could have happened. Um, she chose education and she saw a pathway through by working, by creating something meaning out of nothing for herself. And obviously she when people saw that effort, they were able to rally around her. So tonight you are also hearing her story so that you see her effort and then you rally around her, and then and she's able to make this bigger and support more teenagers, and you know really, really do the work that she has been sent here to do. Yanu, you're back? Are you there? Yanulua? Grace? You're frozen. Hello? Still frozen. Okay. Wait for Yanulua's network to stop disturbing her.
Hello, Ma. Can you hear me now, Ma?
Yes, I can hear you now. Okay. I can hear you now. Are you there? Hello? We are still here. Yanulua. Still here, waiting for Yanulua's network to cooperate with us. But as I was saying, tonight we're talking about the impact project of Grace, Yanulua Grace, and to share it with the world, to share the work with the world in such a way that you can see the story behind the impact, the story behind the person that is making the movement, the story behind the movement, the story behind the ripple. VMAP has opened the opportunity for people to discover themselves and layer their original design on the systems of the world and do great stuff. And that is what Iyanolua is exhibiting tonight. Iyanu, is your network fine now?
Yes, Ma. It's a bit better. Sorry about the glitch, Ma.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. You can go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Ma. So, so that was how I had to juggle through different working and learning. So I was learning my fashion designing. I was doing home lessons. I was hawking school. I was hawking bags and shoes in the campus. I that was how I when I realized that no one was coming to save me. I just had to rise and just fight to the end. So it was not easy. Coupled with the fact that economics department was one of the toughest departments in the school. Like once anyone hears that you are studying economics, like the respect alone, now combining it with doing different things and all. But even despite all that, I was able to graduate. And I didn't just graduate. I was actually I wanted to graduate with first class, but
Iyanu, are you here?
my desire was yes, Ma. I'm sorry about the
Okay.
network glitch. So I said my desire was to graduate. Yes, Ma. My desire was to graduate with first class, but I was not able to meet up with that. But I was still able to come out with second class upper, and that's being disciplined amidst all odds. It shows me that if I put my mind to something, then I can achieve it. So while taking one of the modules during my VMAP program, I reflected on it, and I just discovered that this is what gave me a soft spot for teenagers. So today I mingle a lot, I speak a lot with teenagers from different backgrounds, and this is one major excuse that most of them keep saying, that they don't have someone to sponsor them through school, they don't have this, they don't have that. So I discovered that sharing my story, my life story, it motivates and inspire them a lot. So I just discovered that, oh, so while I was just reflecting that, oh, this is something that I can help teenagers come out of. And during this period, I was timid, seriously. Like, I have so much that I even wanted to organize my first event while I was in school, but I was not bold enough. I was like, will people listen to me? What do I even have to offer? What do I want to say? And the all. So I now discovered that adding me, I've started speaking up early. It will have helped me to achieve more. It will have helped me to have good networks of people around me and have good circles and all. So that is why I came up with my project, my VMAP project, as Speak Up Teen, like with an exclamation mark behind, like so serious. Teenagers need to speak up. And I've worked with lots of teenagers that have been abused, but they don't have the confidence because of the kind of society we find ourselves in. Like, people
Mm.
will we tag them, we say all sorts, all manner of things about them, like they won't even care to listen to their own part of the story. So I want to be a living testimony. Yes, which have even started already. Like, teenagers can speak up, teenagers can act boldly. So that was what prompted me to come up with my VMAP project, and I tagged it Speak Up Thing. Helping teenagers to find their voice, helping them to walk in purpose, and helping them to heal their hearts. Like, I hold this project so dear. It's so dear to me because, like, I feel so fulfilled, sincerely. And one of the things that VMAP helped me with is it helped me with structures. So one of the things I learned during my VMAP program was setting up structures and systems, putting systems in place, and I applied that. Because one good thing about VMAP program is that the things you are going to be learning, they are applicable. Like, as you are learning it, you're applying it immediately. So you are seeing the results immediately. And so I applied it. And what's that? I put in structure because I knew that this event is not something I want to be limited to just my geographical location. I want people all around to be able to benefit from it. So that was why it's an online event. And I put systems in place by, firstly, I started this call for volunteers, and I was able to get like 11 people that were ready to like help to push the event, the flyers and all, working in different departments. And we, even though this season most of them were giving excuse later that they are busy, that is because most of them are students, so coupled with their exams at school and all, but we're still able to achieve something far more than when I was doing it alone. Like, if I was to do the awareness and all alone, I know we'll not be able to achieve the number we achieved. So we're able to achieve over 70 people, yeah, over 70 people register from over 12 states in Nigeria. So this alone, even without even when I've not yet implemented, before the day of the event, like, it gave me so much joy. I felt that, oh, this is something that people are willing to attend. And another thing that I implemented in the course of my project is creation of ripple effect. So one thing that Coach Abimbola taught us is that as a visionary, we must give birth to other people. So she kept emphasizing that we don't want to withhold everything. We don't want to be selfish with all that we are learning. She kept saying that I'm raising you, so you need to arise and raise others. So she would just keep saying that and ringing into her head. So that was what made me, because normally I was just supposed to just make this event, this my project, to just center around only teenagers. So in order to create ripple effects, I had to diversify my audience. And so we targeted teachers because they have direct contact with teenagers. We targeted we targeted young mentors because they have relationship with teenagers. We targeted parents because they have direct relationship with teenagers. So we targeted people that also have relationship with teenagers in order to ensure that we are creating ripple effects. So these are the things that we put in place, and I was able to learn this from VMAP, because before anything about teenagers, I believe it should just be centered around teenagers. But this time around, I was able to diversify my targeted audience by targeting other people. And another thing is that during the implementation of my project, because it was online, I I experienced some technical issues, technical errors. And before I even move to that aspect, I would like to specially appreciate Coach Abimbola. Seriously, there is this feeling of excitement that you have when your coach is telling you that this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do.
Network problem again. We'll wait for Yanulua to get her network back in order. But so far, I hope you are enjoying this conversation. You're enjoying Yanulua's story and how where she's coming from and how she has become. It's been a long day. How she has become the woman that she is today. You know, why her heart was yearning so much for a program like VMAP and why it fits her so much and she's so in sync. Welcome back.
Thank you so much, ma. I don't know why the network is like this tonight. So sorry about that, ma. So before I proceed to the talking about the implementation of my project, so I would like to give my coach her flowers and celebrate her specially. Just permit me to do that. Seriously. I'm still trying to put my words together right now, because having someone who believes so much in you, having someone who believes in what you're doing, like, there is a way it gives you this so much joy. It gives you so much, like, you are doing the right thing. So even when there are challenges and all, like, that just kept pushing me, like it was just like my fuel. It was the food that was pushing me, because sincerely, thank you so much, Coach Abimbola. So she also came up as one of our speakers for my project. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, ma. So during the implementation of the project, my God, I set everything up together with my team members. Everything was intact and all. And that day, my God, I love to share this part of the story, because we should not just be sharing the success part of the story.
Yeah.
Sincerely, so this part of the story, sincerely, anytime I remember it, it encourages me that if I could do that that very day, that means there is no amount of pressure that I cannot overcome. We had a huge technical setback, and my project was supposed to be 2 hours, but so we're supposed to start by 7 p.m. Nigerian time, and we started past 8, and it spanned through till past 11, and people still waited. And what gave me so much joy was our coach was just like, this plan is not working, look for an alternative. So now that this one is not working, what are we going to do? Sincerely, normal me, I was just like, I'm just tired, I don't want to
I was
proceed.
about to give
But she
up.
just kept encouraging me, and we held it to the glory of God. And the feedback so far has been amazing. Like during the feedbacks, when we're trying to round up the whole thing and we're receiving feedback from different members,
Okay. We lost Ianu to the connection again. We'll wait for her to join us again. Okay, I think she's back. Okay. We lost are you
hello
back?
ma, can you hear me
Yes.
now, ma?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, I am. Thank you, ma. Yes, ma. So I was saying that the feedbacks were amazing. So when we're trying to wrap up the whole thing, like someone just requested to speak, and the next thing was that, Miss Grace, when are we doing this again? Because this hour is just limited. We can't just do this and just go like that. Like about 3 people to 4, if I'm not mistaken, they just had to keep sending messages that when are we doing this again? Please, we can't just stop like that. So despite the challenges, the feedback gave me a lot of inspiration, and the fact that I was able to push through together with my team members, we're able to do this. Like it gave me so much confidence. Like it improved my confidence level. Sincerely, even though I was just at first I was destabilized because I thought I had everything planned out and all. So sincerely, this is just the beginning. That's all I can say. So
So what does it
2026,
mm-hmm.
we are coming up with a bigger plan. Sincerely.
Amazing, more
Sincerely.
audacious plans. So what does the future hold
Yes.
for Speak Up Teens? What does it hold for what does the future hold for Speak Up Teens?
Okay, ma. So right now we're planning on 2 things. So we're going to be having it like a monthly session where we're going to be inviting experts from different aspect of lives that has to do with teenagers. So we're going to be having them. We're going to be organizing it as an online event too. Yes, but for this coming 2026, we are still hoping that we can still maintain it as an online event. And so the reason is because we don't want to be limited geographically. We want to have teenagers from all geographical locations. We want to have teenagers we want to have teenagers from different parts of the world, not just in Nigeria this time around. So we are thinking global already. We are
Okay.
going global. So that's why we're not just going to make it a physical event for now. So it's still going to continue, and it's going to be a monthly something.
Okay.
So every
Amazing.
month.
So if someone is watching you right now and they are wondering, okay, so how can I support Iyanolua for this movement that she has begun? How can someone out there support what you're doing?
Okay, thank you so
Or
much for
support
this
or
opportunity.
sponsor? Yeah, support, sponsor. So what are the avenues? What rooms do you have for growth, for expansion, for better implementation? What would make the work move faster to gather more momentum? So someone is watching now, they're wondering like, oh, how can I support her? How can you be supported? How can you be sponsored?
Okay, thank you so much for that opportunity, ma. So the first way that I can be supported is looking out for experts that can volunteer as speakers, that will be willing to share their stories, that will be willing to come on board to share their stories, to motivate these teenagers, to ensure that they they think beyond their current phase, current geographical, current background, so that, like, not just to motivate them, but when they see them, like, they are seeing the result, they are seeing the person they want to become. So we will be needing volunteer speakers. And also, as time goes on, it's one thing to encourage these teenagers to speak up, is another thing to support them. So we'll be needing sponsors, and we'll be picking teenagers randomly, whom we are going to be having a kind of like conducting like a special interview for hear their stories and see how we can support them. So this support can either come in as upskilling. Like, I'm a big fan of teenagers who are the transitional phase, like those who want to cross from SS3 to higher institution, because that was my original story. So my transition from SS to higher institution was a bit tough and challenging for me. So subsequently, we're going to be coming up with teenagers coming to share their stories, those that cannot share it publicly, but there'll be a way that we're going to speak with them so as to support them, because we cannot just be encouraging them to speak up and that will just be the end. So we needing sponsors that can, so maybe it's financial support, volunteer speakers, and those who can motivate these teenagers, and also sponsorship in, because we'll be holding our physical event, but the time is not stated yet, but we just want to focus on online online events now, but subsequently a physical event too. So um firstly, for volunteer speakers, like experts in different industry that will help motivate these teenagers, then those that can come in with their financial help to support these teenagers, especially those that are limited, that think that there is no more they can do because they're looking at their financial background and all. So supporting them, but then there will be thorough system and procedures to this. Thank you so
Okay.
much, ma.
Amazing. And of course, to add a layer to that, apart from the speakers and those that will bring money, to sponsor, to move the movement, also those that have skills that they can teach these teenagers for free. Apprenticeship.
Yes, ma. Yes, ma.
Apprenticeship is going to be an important, because from your story, if you remember, you were interested in fashion, but it was almost going to be impossible to do because you didn't have money. But thankfully, you met with someone that was willing to defer payments while you earned the skill.
Yes,
So if you
yes,
are
ma.
listening to this and you also have apprenticeship within, wherever you are in Nigeria, wherever you are in the world, adopt a teenager through Iyanoluwa's movement, and then they can earn a skill that would help them to build a future, a desired future for themselves. So you can see the layers. So we are already doing the work. We are already in the field making the movement. So these are some of the ways in which you can. So, and if you're having a brainwave or you're having inspiration of, oh, I think I can support you in this particular way, please reach out, and then we'll be able to talk further on making more impact, visible impact, impact that is visible, that is actually going to be a ripple effect. Because when you raise one teenager, you are raising, you see, if when you raise one teenager, you're actually raising an entire family, because that teenager can become anything tomorrow. Just to look at Iyanoluwa. She worked hard, and then her family supported her, and she went to school, and now see what she's able to do for others that are in the situation that she used to be previously. So you can see how the ripple keeps getting bigger. So join Iyanoluwa on this movement, and you will be glad that you did. Okay, so yes, I think we've sort of covered the beginning, the impact, and what those that are watching us can do to be a part of this movement. Any other thing that you want to add right now, Iyanolua, before we call this a wrap this up?
Okay, Ma. I would just like to sincerely appreciate you once again, Coach. Thank you so much for this. Thank you so much for all you do. And I won't keep saying it that myself and my VMAP sisters were going to make you proud. And this seed of greatness that you've deposited in us, you're going to reap the harvest bountifully. So one more thing I would
Amen.
like to add is to just add a touch of something connected to this. So we're planning on starting our podcast sessions too. So we'll also be needing to call for experts and those who love to share their stories to motivate these teenagers. So that's all for now. Thank you so much,
And
Ma.
that's as a result of this
The
podcasting
VMAP,
from your from. So tell us a little bit. Because now you've given me a brain. Tell us a little bit about your one-to-one experience on VMAP, because everything that you just said, just you just everything, all that conversation just flashed
yes,
right back. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
yes. Can I talk more about it, Coach?
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah, the one-to-one experience. What how you came in and what you left with, and just I think that's worthy of being talking about. Oh no, network issue again. Yeah, no, are you there? Yeah, no, are you there? Network. Well, if you're watching this, I hope you've gained one or two things from our conversation about impact, about changing lives, about touching lives, about helping people to create a better future for themselves, about mindset re-engineering, about change, about changing lives, about helping people to become better versions of themselves. Yeah, no, are you there? Hello? Hello? Yeah, no, are you there? Okay. Well, our time is almost up, and she was gonna just tell us about our one-to-one experience, which I think was one of the most revolutionary and transformative experience for her. Because when you've been working with someone for over eight weeks, and they have a one-to-one with you, and you can see them bloom and blossom right there in that intervention. It's one of the great joys of my life, having a one-to-one with someone, and You can actually see them wake up. You can actually see them see the see from a different perspective. You can actually see them evolve. You can actually see, what they you could see what is possible, right, by just looking straight into their eyes, you know. Yanu, can you hear me?
Yes, ma, I'm back.
Okay. Okay. So quickly, we're almost out of time, but just quickly, um, tell us in 1 minute what your one-to-one experience was like and what it really did for you.
Yes, the one-to-one coaching, the one-to-one session with coach was the result was what brought about my um podcasts that I talk about before I got disconnected. Yes, it was as a result of my one-to-one session with coach that so I was sharing some things with her, and she was like, what if you do it this way? What if you like I was just like, she was just like, have you thought about this? Have you think, my God, you're a blessing, coach. Seriously, I'm not even exaggerating. Thank you so much, ma. It was as if, when God has put someone there, and the way I was just telling her my mind, pouring out and saying everything, like she was just flowing. And it's like she has already seen into the future. So while I was even sharing some things with her and the steps have been taken and all, she was like, "Hey, you can have this. Have you thought about it? What if you do this?" And while I was thinking about it, so I was like, "Wow, this is amazing. It has never even crossed my mind before." So it's the session. I'm going to describe the session with just one word. It was um clarify. I don't even know how to put it. Like it was mind blowing. Seriously, like I'm trying to look for an adjective to just qualify the session, but sincerely, and trust me, I'm not even exaggerating right now. I'm just short of words, but it was mind blowing. Like this is just what I needed, and God just put coach there, like to just speak to me. And when she just mentioned it, I was like, I have to just grab this and I have to start working on it immediately. And I told her, I say, Coach, I'm implementing this. I know we just have a few days left to round up the year, but I'm going to start this year. And she was just like, that's the spirit, you can do it. So that's one thing with coach. Like there was clarity, like, and I was able to gain insights into the things that it was supposed to cost me. Maybe it's towards the end of 2026 that it might not even occur to me. That's even if it will have occurred to me that, oh, you are even supposed to do something like this. So I'll just say it has shortened the journey, it has compressed the journey for me. So something that was supposed to take me, let me say, I'm not even sure if I will have even think about it this year, this coming year. Let's just say 2026, ending of 2026, but she has already compressed it. And this is what a true mentor is like. Coach Abimbola, thank you so much, ma. Seriously, I'm just short of words. Let me
We
just stop
thank
there.
we,
Thank
we,
you, ma.
we thank God, we thank God, we thank God, the giver of all wisdom, from whom everything flows. And that's beautiful to hear, because one thing most people don't know is you don't know it all. But the job of a coach, of a mentor, or my job as the architect of equilibrium, the equilibrium architect, is to help you to find that balance, is to help you to identify your blind spots. And I would use this example in as we close. When you are inside a picture, like a picture frame, let's imagine that, oh, this is the cover of my book. Let's imagine that this is a picture frame and this is you inside the picture. You cannot see, you are inside the picture. You can't see the edges, can you? Can you see the
No,
edges? You are
no.
inside the picture. So for you to be able to see the edges, what do you need to do?
Come out.
You need to step out of the frame.
Mm.
That's what a coach does for you. Because you are inside the picture, you are living the life. So you really, almost usually nearly impossible for you to step out except you're able to ask the right questions. So you need to become somebody that asks the right question, not just questions, but quality questions that actually, because if you remember, everything that every all the conversation we were having was, I was asking you questions. And when
Yes.
I ask you those questions, it makes you to think and ponder like, actually, why not, if not? So the job of a coach is to help you see what is outside your frame of reference, what is in your blind spot, and then bring it to your view. And then that way you're able to say, oh, actually, because like you said, it would have taken you a long time to be able to figure that, or figure, except somebody tells you. And of course, it's
Yes.
not just anybody that will be able to tell you that, because
Mm.
there's always context, and there's always, intuition. There's always that visionary oversight and experience that comes with it. You understand? So, yeah,
Mhm.
I'm glad to hear that. And I can't wait to see what you and your VMAP sisters would do in the next 1 year. And hopefully, by God's grace, we'll be able to come back and have this conversation again and say, what has happened to speak up teams, where are we, and what are we achieved, 70 people registered. So hopefully at least month on month, there will be an increment on the people that registered. And even though 20 people were able to attend the first session, hopefully out of the remaining 50 that did not come, they will come for the next one. And, and it will keep moving like that. And
Mm.
the truth is that the reason why you will not give up is because you are not, it's not something external that is pushing you.
Mm.
It is internal. It is your internal clock. It's your internal setting. It's your original design. It's your origin story.
Mm.
It is where you are coming from. So it's not like peer pressure. It's not like, oh, everybody's doing it, so I'm doing it. No. You're doing it because you know that it matters. And if you don't do it, I mean, who else has had the lived experience like you that would be able to have enough empathy to be able to help these teenagers? Because people want to help people, but if you've not walked in their shoes, sometimes it's very hard for you to really understand what they are going through. But because you have gone through it, it's easier for you to say, do you know where I was? And then they listen to you. It's easier for them to listen. It's easier for them to embrace what you are talking about. And on that note, I wish you a very Merry Christmas and a
Thank you,
very
Lord.
prosperous New Year. It's
Thank
been
you.
a joy being your mentor, and it can only get better from here. And I'm rooting for you. And for anyone that is seeing this and Ianulua's story has inspired you, please reach out. And of course, if VMAP has also inspired you to see the work that we are doing to change lives, to make reformers better and actually help them scale, help them be bigger, think bigger, reach more people, be a better version of themselves, be healed versions of themselves so that they can actually heal the world. That's the ethos of our practice. You have to be a healed person for you to be able to heal the world, because hurt people hurt others. Healed
Mm.
people healed others. So the very first thing that you go through in VMAP is soul excavation. Everything that has hurt you, that has made you bitter, angry with everything, first needs to go, because you cannot be a bitter person that is trying to make the world a better place. It doesn't flow. You have to flow from a place of peace. You have to flow from a place of healing. You have to flow from a place of abundance. You have to flow from a place of yes, this is what I am here for such a time as this. And it's only when you flow from that kind of stream that you can be able to do real impactful work. That money would come into your hands and you know that it is for the impact, it is not for your pocket. That's when you will not divert or siphon or do things that are not expected of you. You will do things right because you know the cloth from which you are cut from. Thank you so, so much for watching the Impact Reporting VMAP edition part 1. And we'll be having the next edition on Boxing Day on Friday with another VMAP graduate who will be telling us about their origin story, their original design, and their impact story, and what the future holds for the impact work that they are doing, and how you can be a partner and how you can partner with them to create more ripple effect. VMAP is already creating the ripple through the work of VMAP graduates. You can also join us to create more ripple in our world, and we'll make the world a better place and heal the world all together. I am Abimbola Victoria Olide, the Equilibrium Architect. It's good night, good evening, good morning, wherever you are from me, and have a blessed end of the year. Ciao. Bye, Grace. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ma, very much.